What do you use? What is this?
It's FL. Just simple FL Studio. Yeah. Good old, simple, old-fashioned FL Studio. I say old-fashioned because, like, I think they're up to 23, and for the longest I've been using 9.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the record we did was FL Studio 9, which is, like, my favorite bragging point when somebody's like, oh, how would you do this on FL 9? Oh, word? You just put it to Pro Tools? I'm like, nah. What you mean, nah? Like,
right.
nah, you mixing the FL. You mixing the FL? Like, yeah. What do you use? Stock. Come on. Nothing works. I had to use what was there. But that was like going to the engineer class with Ali, and he was like, man, all these programs are the same. They just all work differently. So it's up for you to figure out what is this program doing, and then just using what you have at hand to emulate the same thing.
Right.
So, yeah, it kind of forced me because I spent Lord knows how much money on plugins only to find out none of them work because of how old it was.
Dang.
But it wasn't that case for some of them. Like, that's a video when you buy stuff. Like, if you contact the people that made it, they'll normally have, like, a 32-bit version, so you can run on older stuff. But a lot of that stuff, they're like, what? Windows what? Better upgrade. I was like,
wow.
But click it. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
So, had to get used to it. Okay, so today we're here with Miss Dior Williams, who, last time I checked, people thought was artificial intelligence.
Who the f*** is she?
This is the day we met.
Harry out here with AI and shit. Nah, homie. Nah, that hold on. Hold on, homie. That ain't even a real person, bruh. My homie from high school. She a hidden character. Wow. Okay. I get what's going on here. That AI Aaliyah vocals, man.
Would you like to touch on that?
Sometimes I feel the same.
Yeah. How does it feel to know you sing so well that people don't think you're a real person?
You know, it's really dope. It feels like, I don't have a good answer for you on that one, honestly. I was trying to pull it. It's not there. It's really cool, though.
Told you. They be out here looking. All right. So, damn, how long have we known each other?
You gonna tell my age.
Oh, you got a point. Yeah, you're right. We're just going to leave it out there. It's been a grip. We can't say it. We can't even use points of reference like cartoons or nothing. Everything on tap. Damn.
No, yeah. It's been, what? I'm not going to say the year, but let's do some math.
We up in the digits, the doubles?
Yes. Yeah, the doubles.
Yeah.
That's legit.
It was back in school uniform days. That was back when I wore a lot of hoodies. That was my real emo phase.
Yeah.
Now I was like, God, because I'm like, I done toned it down and found ways to hide it covertly. Like, you know, the Doc Martin smashed the fit now, so everybody like, oh, man, you know, he jigged up. Like,
right, yeah. I've been here.
That part. Okay, so we recorded a record, what was it, 14, 16? It was a grip ago.
It's been a long time.
I'm trying to think. Man.
I feel like I looked at the date at an email, and I was like, how? How has it been this much time?
Yeah. I think the beauty of the whole entire thing is that, what is it? You recorded that, what, at the office, like the little home office?
Yeah.
Because you can still, like, in the stem files, you can hear the chair creaking back and forth, like, between takes.
Man, that daggone, and I would be so still. And then at the end, if I would move, there it is, making his presence known.
Swag. Oop, I hit the, hold on, that's my bad. Hit the wrong button. Oh, pause it. You stop it. You stop it right now.
You sound like me when I was learning Studio One.
Man, because it can get real infuriating because everything's cool when it works, but when it don't, I'll be ready to fight. All right.
I got Studio One with the interface I bought years ago. And I was like, I know that they're, you know, like you said, they do the same things.
Yeah.
And it's a learning curve, but that curve,
it can really whoop you out sometimes.
Yeah. Because I downloaded Pro Tools. And I was like, I'm going to just learn a little bit. And I was like, nah, I'm going back.
I'm trying to get comfortable enough to learn Pro Tools because it's like, it makes sense to me how it works, but the way everything is stacked on top of each other like gets on my last nerve, and I'm like, I have to learn it because it's just like I have to learn how to use a Mac, even though I don't like Macs. Macs give me a headache. It's just like if Windows is right-handed, Mac is definitely left-handed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my mom is always like, she calls me, she's like, how do I? And I'm like,
I don't know.
I don't have a Mac, and I have an iMac. But it's more for aesthetic, and the reason I have it is because I got it for like $25. It had a
Okay.
I was
about to say, so you spent like $1,200 for aesthetic?
Oh no!
What kind of baller moves are you making?
It was literally like, ooh, I would love to say yes, a little like work. It was $25, but it was nice because it was quieter than my laptop.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I can use this to record, but I definitely used the Windows mouse because I needed the left click or the right click. I was like, nah, I can't give it all.
It all
up.
feels weird. Like, my cousin didn't know how to upgrade his, and I'm just like, all right, I can Google the hell out of this whole situation. That was not the case. I spent so much time trying to figure out what is this, what is that, why is it compatible with this, why is it not compatible with that, how do I install this, and how do I install that, and then the dude at the store was like, yeah, that's old, so we don't really touch those.
Right.
I'll tell you to trade it in for a new one, but it's not really worth anything. I was like, but it says here on the eBay you spend like $3,000. He's like, yeah, I mean, if it's fully loaded, but it's still old. I was like, you've been so helpful, Apple guy. So you're absolutely welcome, man. You have a good day. So you too.
Apple is like the worst type of vintage.
Yeah.
They love to slap that on something.
Yes, they do.
Like, this is bad.
It very much is. I had to take my mother into the Apple store to try to get her stuff worked on, which, by the way, she stayed home because she didn't want to deal with the Apple people. She said, they want my information. I said, what information do you have, nice old black lady? Like, other than your streaming accounts, no one needs to know how much you watch the Beverly Hillbillies and who Victor is and all your other soap operas. I don't think they're going to be that concerned. But lo and behold, nah. I was in the dude was like, man, yeah, we can't even do nothing with this, man. But you're the Apple guy.
Right.
You have all the stuff. You have the juice.
Yeah.
It's like the logo on your shirt. And he was like, hey, it's too old. I was just like, okay.
That's wild to me.
It just kind of worn me out. I was just like, all right, well, we gave this a try. It only took 2 hours of waiting.
And it's always a process.
It is, very much so.
It's a process.
They have a multi-billion-dollar industry off of making people wait and pay for the same thing every year with a slight update. I think with the new iPhone has a new button.
Yeah, keyword is slight.
Yeah, and all it is the iPhone, was it the last iteration of the Pro, but now made into a smaller form. So, yeah, that's working. 1,400. Yeah.
I'm waiting on the 20. I told Bree, I said.
That's actually smart because by then they didn't broke and fixed everything for the most part. Yeah, it's gonna still come with a problem or 6, but
Right, it has to because then what are they gonna say we released something for?
Mm-hmm. Man, we were spoiled. We used to get phones that worked, and you could take the battery out of if you need to do something sketchy.
And you would get a new design. It would be special because it wasn't like everybody else in the room's phone.
They are all the same now.
You remember those phones that you open and it could twist? It was like a mini camcorder.
That was the fancy ones.
When I got that mug, I was
See the excitement, the baller. I was like, hold on, at the party.
But it had a like a screensaver of like falling snow. And I was like, this is all I need.
Children would never know. You telling that age again. Like, we got 4K screens in your hand right now. No one knows what it used to be like when it was just like damn near Game Boy quality. You just had numbers and like a pixelated version, whatever picture you tried to put as your background. And that's if you could put it as a background.
I just needed to text. And I remember there was one phone I had, it was a multimedia message. And so
that was the best one, yeah.
And I was like, this is involved. So when
you was cutting edge back then, huh?
You said what?
You was cutting edge back then, huh? I seen multimedia messages. I didn't get that feature till I don't want to say. But I got it at some point. Eventually, I had it.
I would be like this under the desk. Back when phones really they would take your.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They would take your.
Oh man, we are adults.
They would take your.
Age we not telling, but. Point being, yeah, that was the time. That's another thing when they would actually take your phone to school. Like, man, that's just spoiled. Man, they doing drugs in school. That's a whole other thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And the vapes, like.
Yeah, the whippets. Last time I saw whippets, it was me and Wayne at some party, and they had the DJ and everything. And all I remember is it like the vibe for some reason changed in the air, and all I remember thinking is we got to get out of here. And next thing you know, they started bringing out lines, eye drops, and everything. I said, oh, it's time to go. He was passing out the
wow.
couch like, yo, we got bounce. He's like, what we gonna bounce for? A party just getting started. He looked over, said, what the hell they doing? Said, exactly. He said, oh no, we got it. Yeah, you right. No,
Time to go.
white folks with the substance abuse gets really weird, especially when you have puffy hair, because everybody wants something to touch on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Man, I mean, no, like, sometimes I don't be washing their hands. That's a whole nother story for another day. So, I sent you this instrumental, and you wrote one of the most well-crafted and on-time songs I have had to hear in quite some time. How was that process?
You know, if I'm being honest with you, I don't even know like where it came from. It just kind of spilled out. But the difference with your track from a lot of other tracks that I've listened to and tried to write to is that it was a beast in its own right. So yeah, absolutely. So for me, it was like, oh, this is fun. Like this, and then the switch up, I got to write to a whole nother song within the song. I don't know how they came together. I just was like, this music is making me feel something. And that's where it started. And after that, once you feel something when you listen to it, if you let it, it'll just come out.
Yeah, man. That is genuinely my goal whenever I do what I do. I appreciate that. That is a high compliment for me.
Yeah.
Very ratatouille. Like, Nah, because like I said, we talked about it the other day, and I was listening back to the song, and I was just like, man, this ain't even got like actual song, man. You know, normally it'd be a 4 to 8 to a 16 kind of situation. Mm-hmm. It's 3s and 9s and all kinds of shit. And I was just like, how the hell did Dior write to this? I just feel how it felt. I was like, nah, it's dope. I'm just like, me being in my writing brain, I'm just like, I didn't make any damn sense when I threw this together, but somehow we got there. And then, you know, like for the part of the song that I envisioned it for, it just really blew my mind how like everything you had crafted fit so perfectly in sync to what I was trying to like convey. So I was just like, I did something.
That's wild to me that it meshed up.
Yeah, that's why I was like, when you heard it back, like, oh, I didn't know this was 4. I was like, I thought I played you. I was like, no. I was like, wait, so you just like heard the beat and we just went in like this? Ooh, so, ooh, I've been doing what I'm doing. Woo.
Yeah, you do.
I be need to remind myself that sometimes. Sometimes I'll be in my head like, man, maybe I'm just overthinking it. And later I'll be like, nah, I know what I was doing. I had that one. I had that one.
But like that's a good point. Overthinking it, like with other songs that are like intro, verse, hook, or maybe a bridge in there. It's like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do here. Yeah. With that song, there was no I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
It was just like, yes, this is there. But I remember feeling a little like self-conscious about it because it wasn't there wasn't like a proper hook or, you know, a proper chorus. But I was like, dang, like when I listened to it, I just would go to a place.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because that doesn't happen. I mean, I like most of my songs. I love some of them, but they don't take me to where that song takes me. So when I hear that song again, I can listen to it over and over again. And I'll go and won't hear it. And then when I hear it again, it's like, I got to hear it again. So it's something about the track that you made that made it easy to, I can't say that I wrote it. It just came through me. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I would just happen to be the one writing the lyrics.
With the pen, putting in the lyrics, writing the song that you didn't write. Fascinating times we live in. You can write the song without writing the song. I'm trying to get in my bag of producing and not producing. But that's a whole nother story. It's like the Avatar state. Is that how it works? I think maybe copyright and we would work on that one. But, yeah.
Well, sometimes I've heard that ideas will flow through you. And if you don't pick them up, it's going to flow to the next nigga.
Sure do. So, I'm a strong believer in that. That's how energy travels. Somebody might think it up, but because they're like, I'll do it tomorrow. Somebody like, I need to do this right now. Yeah. But
it was that type of vibe. Like it literally like just showed up. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. I was excited as hell to do this song. I was like, man, we'll sound dope on this, man. I just gotta go find Dior. She'd be off in the dark regions in the cave somewhere chilling. She like, recluse. Like hobbits, very peaceful. Just somewhere sipping tea, feet out, chilling.
No socks.
No socks. Birds and the bees, just chilling amongst nature. And it just turned out really well. Like I told you what happened with my cousin Tyler, right? Like we're playing a record and he's just sitting there and it's just like quiet. It's been like a whole minute and 30. I'm like, transition coming up and see what happens. He's just sitting there and he's just like. Then he's like, he looks at his watch. I'm like, well, if you can't tell how much I like it, and he shows me the watch, his heart monitor went off. I was like, he's like, yeah, it's fucking great, man. I said, yeah, bro, she did that in the office. She's like, did in the office? I was like, a little work office chair. And I played the things you hear, the little creak in the chair. He's like, man, that's fucking impressive. That's what I be trying to tell her, man. She just be like, ducked off. He's like, yeah, they said the talented people be like, they hide off. I said, that makes sense. That's why we call you Celine Dion, but that's a whole nother story. Yours just pop out once a blue moon, something snazzy. We'll say hi to everybody. Hello, loved ones. You all have a great day, and then just disappear for like another 3 years.
Yeah.
That's the talent in itself, though. Like, just do the pop out. Hey. Like, I see Dior. She was here for like 3 minutes and 42 seconds. She did the car peeling off in the background. Like, back to whence you came.
I'm happy to report that I have a quieter chair now.
You do?
I do. It's not. There is some noise.
Noted for the cook-ups. Quieter chair.
It's a little more comfortable too.
So you ain't gotta be stiff up in the mic when you're
right.
singing.
I mean, legit would be like,
easy into it.
No move, just sing it.
But I appreciate stuff like that because that's like the part of things that people don't know goes into records. Because it's like some people feel like I probably went to some like big studio somewhere. Like, bro, that was all like basement stuff.
Yeah.
Words like. She was recording in a personal office, and I was mixing like somebody's living room. I'm pretty sure with some little speakers, $10 speakers I bought at damn Office Max.
Yeah, but that speaks to your talent. Like you just said, like you had more stuff, and you were like, I don't actually use that. I don't need that. Yeah. And you get the same result, if not better, when you pare down. So like, it doesn't matter what tools somebody of your caliber uses. And I hope you know that. I think you know that by now.
I ain't got there with it now. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I was about to blow a lot of chili. And I was just like, I mean, we're going to sound better. Yeah. Fucking, once again, Ali's ass, he did the whole entire The Pimp a Butterfly on a mono speaker about yay big.
Oh, wow.
He says over 100 and something. A mono speaker. That's it. Yeah, yeah. Once you hear that, you're like, holy shit. He just like, yeah, man, sit on a snare for about 12 hours. I was like, 12 hours on a snare? I was like, he's an engineer. That is what an engineer is to me. Wow. And I get it, but it was one thing that he instilled in me, like a lot of other good friends and stuff I've met in my travels, was just like, take a time away from it. Like, that hour away from hearing your song blaring at top volume can really do a whole reset for you. You'll come back and press play. You either like, ooh, you'll be like, oof, I need to change that, and that.
Yep. It's a nice, it's the same, I think, in a lot of the areas of life, but especially something that's impacting your senses, like sensory, like you have to take a break. Visual, audio.
True that.
Like, you got to. And you're right. Like, sometimes you come back like, why did I do that?
Buddy, I got a whole plethora of little songs here and there where I was just like, I don't even know how I got this little sound out of here. I was like, what the hell is going on over here? Or it was just once upon a time I could see that I was just like grabbing whatever I could find and throwing it up. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like that's one of the things I'm grateful that I kept so much of my old stuff, because sometimes I can go back and I can even learn something from like how I was operating back then in contrast to now. Because without me having so much knowledge, it was real easy for me to just be like, all right, well, this works enough, and just find some way to flip it. Hell, I think one of the songs I did on this project, you hear one snare, but in reality, it's 5 snares on top of each other.
Oh, wow.
One's a little bit ahead, 2 are in the middle, there's one in the back, and there's one tucked all the way bottom to get a little bit of high end. And I was like, what the hell made me do this? And I didn't know how to mix it, so all I did was adjust the volume for each one a little bit, so they blend together.
Oh,
and I was like, this is insane. But I made it work. So I was like, all right, little hair.
That's the thing. Like, I remember recording songs and being like, dang, do I feel like learning how to make this echo go on the time or just singing the echoes? And a lot of times I just opted to sing the echoes.
About that. I'm like, those aren't effects.
It was just, truthfully, it was just easier than sitting there learning something. Because I would be the person to sit down, okay, I'm going to write to this song. Mm-hmm. But then the first thing I come to, like, how do I do that? Okay, I'm Googling, I'm looking, I'm clicking around. And I look up 2 hours later, literally nothing has been done. And I'm this closer to figuring out what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Some days I will go down that rabbit hole. But other days I'm like, Dior, just do what you know you can do. And pass it to the person who knows what they're doing.
Facts. I had to learn that for so... There's a good chunk of my older songs and beats where, like, I didn't know how the metronome worked on the program. So, that's one of the most important parts of crafting a song, because it essentially tells the program how to sequence everything when you're making a beat. Yeah, I didn't know that. I was just dragging and dropping sounds and moving them off kilter. So, it's say 140 at the top, but it's probably 68 or something else in between. And that went on for months because at the time, no one showed me how. And, like, back then, Google sucked. Showing my age again. Don't worry about that. Point being, there wasn't enough guys to tell me exactly what I wanted to learn, so I was just like, fuck it, we ball. And thugged it out and got to the bottom of it. And, like, years later, we're here. So
You made it.
sometimes it helps just to not look it up and just keep going.
Yeah, like you figure out one way or another, and it gets done. And then, like you say, you learn from it. But sometimes you strike gold that way.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, but now I do.
I also agree. So I'm currently in the process of trying to get better at learning piano stuff. More so now they're getting beat up in the studio session, but that's a whole nother story.
You mean
Not-
like playing?
Yeah, like
Oh,
playing. Like,
okay.
yeah, I was in there like, triading it. Like,
Yeah.
like, ooh, put a pinky in her that time. Oh, homie in the back just shout out drums. He was like, I mean, a little something, real razzle dazzle. Then I saw his hand do this. I'm like, the hell you mean a little razzle dazzle?
Oh wow.
Yeah, he signed the records. Me, I'm just like, I did them right there. That A major, that was me.
Look,
I don't even know what that is. Woo, boy.
look, all these little pieces, they add up to it.
They do.
They do.
But it's like finding a balance in it. It was, I think it was Andre 3000 who talked about it. He said he's gotten to a point with music where he understands so much, he can't really make a mistake anymore, and he misses being able to make a mistake because he felt like a lot of cool things he did and a lot of things that became like the wow moment of the song was because he made a mistake.
Wow.
So me, it's like I want to be good, but I also want to be terrible. So it's trying to find that balance in between. So right now,
Yeah.
I'm terrible good. But I'm getting closer to that good terrible. Yeah.
Mariah Carey, when she sings and I hear her voice crack, it is like magic to me. It's more magical than her magical voice.
It's when you hear the plug of a piano or like the fingering of the bass and you get to hear the little thump. It's like it's the human part of
It's
it.
the human part of it. Yeah.
I'm really big on that kind of stuff too because I know a lot of times in sessions somebody want to take that. I'm like, not leave it. That's wrong.
And that would be a hindrance to me was perfectionism. But like it was like I didn't know enough to be a perfectionist, so it was like I was chasing a fleeting like goal.
Guilty.
Like yeah,
Also guilty.
Like, I was like, but looking back now, I'm like I never could have achieved what I was trying to do, but that would stop me from so much music. It would stop me from doing so much music and finishing so much music. Because
That'd be the big one, the
queen
finishing.
of starting. I got so many tracks I've started.
Oh,
Like
once again,
Yeah.
you speaking my language. I'm not proud of that. We're going to edit that out post. Point being, there's so plenty of them in the graveyard. And I know a lot of it was just like, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. I don't know how to do this. And it's like the reality of it, I found back later, like, I just took this one drum sound and pitched it like this, and now we fine.
Yeah.
But always being in that, I need this and need that factor in a song. And it's like, nah, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? And what are you trying to express? And just honing on to that feeling. What are you trying to express?
Yeah.
And go.
I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a brilliant lyricist, Chris the Thrillist, and this is years ago.
Good name.
He's a good guy. But he said, we were having a conversation. He said, it's not that it has to make you feel something. It just has to make you feel. And I was like, well, shit.
Yeah.
If I would,
That's a good starting point.
It just once you feel, then there's room, and you figure out which way you go. Sometimes you make a U-turn, but it doesn't have to make you feel something. It just has to make you feel. And it's like, all right, like, because that's something I would be like, what am I trying to do? But it was a big supposed to for me. Everything is, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I, or what should I be doing, Yeah. And then it was like, no, just do. And that it falls into place. Like, it's the effort and the action,
True that. All right, so now, in your leisure when it comes to artistry, how are you feeling about it?
Well, it's interesting because I'm looking at different career paths and things, and I've tried to run away from music for years. I mean, like decades. And I'm like, okay.
Speaking from experience, I was the one that had to chase. But yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm the end result made it worth it. I lost a few pounds back there, but we're here now, so I'm good.
I think that, let me not say I think. I know that I want to make music. I've been thinking a lot, and when I say I've been thinking a lot, I mean for like years, about frequencies.
Yeah.
And like the sounds, like healing sounds. And I'm like, okay, if this is a known thing that's been studied, can I incorporate that into music? And that's, I think, where I want to go next, because it would inevitably feel good.
Yeah.
Even the mistakes will feel good because I'm starting at a place that's either of healing or just of feel good.
Yeah.
So I think that, I know that that's a place I want to start. In terms of artistry and me, I like the idea of separating the two. Because Dior Williams, it's not necessarily Dior or Dior Delise. stage name is still be determined. Still to be determined.
I'll just say D-Dub because it sounds cool.
You know, like, but me, I don't know that Dior Williams is an artist because I got a lot going on here that hinders me.
Yeah.
But when I am able to put that aside and separate, oh, it's a beautiful thing. So I guess just establishing that part of me and then letting that part fly. I don't know where she's gonna land. I don't know where she'll go, but I'm sure we'll see some cool things.
Well, I'm excited for her journey, and hopefully I get to be a part of it.
Sir, you're already a part of it. And but no, for real, like you and just your being, and just it makes you are a bright spot in music. Especially, I can speak for myself, but I know with how you've affected my life, like I know that you're out sprinkling freaking glitter everywhere you go, and I'm.
That's right.
Yeah,
glitter.
Like you got the heart. No, but like keep doing what you do, and like just bringing that same, like you've been the same dude. Like keep that core, you know, because that's what people like me need to remind myself that, oh, okay, this can feel good. This doesn't have to be this, doesn't have to be that, and it doesn't have to be, because you were one who's like, how are you feeling? Like, where are you? Like, how are you?
Yeah, man, things matter.
Yeah, but you really, what is the word? Oh, dang. Embody that. We'll say embody. You embody that, and I appreciate you for that. Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Well, shit, I guess on that note, we done covered everything. Harshing her out now. Used to love you. Dior Williams, real person, not AI, really dope. Bother and pester if you can actually find her to make her sing more. Like, yeah, that's it.
Hey, I'll be around.
All right. Swag. We got that.
I have some things I need to say, and I don't know any other way to tell you the one I love, that it's you.